that she did with just one album that still stands the test of time to this day. You know, and I just felt like she should at least make the second round out of any female rapper.
For the women. Yeah,
you know,
for the women.
That's for the women.
And I think here's the argument, and then we'll move on. But like I said this in the last podcast, if you take Q-Tip and Lauryn Hill, throw them in a room with a mic, like who's coming out of that room? Lauryn is coming out that motherfucking room. You know what I'm saying? She would be able to outrun
I can see why. Yeah, Lost One just pops in my mind immediately. And it's not that Q-Tip can't spit. It's just that Lauryn in her prime, yeah, she was just a dope MC, male, female, regardless.
Don't matter. Yeah, it don't matter. Don't matter. And even the Fugees, the score. I hate when people try to say. Anyway, I'm not making this about Lauryn, but.
That's another one.
Yeah. She's out in the first round. But we got Nas.
Well, here, look.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, let me just throw in that Nas vote. I know you guys. I mean, I went with Nas as well. Brandon, the way that you hated the Raekwon Andre one, that's what this one was for me.
Yeah.
Because like I've definitely just throughout the years, man, I've really grown to love Tribe, and I mean, like I love Q-Tip as an artist. You know, when his last solo dropped, Renaissance, that was my favorite album of 2008. You know, that's the year when everybody was all over Carter 3 and Paper Trail. Nas had the Untitled album that year. Mm-hmm. But Q-Tip, just, being able to produce his own stuff and, just the kind of MC that he is. I love Q-Tip. But against Nas, I went in that one, man. The records that Nas has, the impact. When Nas said, name a rapper I ain't influenced, I think his legacy just as a solo artist just that much deeper. And, if I drop an album tomorrow, I'm excited, as it's just the first time I'm ever hearing them. I think Nas is a stronger rapper. I would argue Q-Tip probably has a better ear for beats throughout, just throughout the career.
Right.
But Nas's catalog just as a solo artist is too deep, and and that would be solidified even further if he dropped his often delayed album tomorrow. He's still that good. He has not, in my opinion, he hasn't lost a step on the mic, and he's been in the game for over 20 years.
Okay.
It's like some of his counterparts have lost, a step on the mic. He has not.
Absolutely.
I really think he's just kind of fountain of youth when it comes to just the rap art form.
No doubt. Next matchup. Woo! All I'm gonna say is the changing of the guard, y'all. This is the changing of the guard. We had Kendrick Lamar advancing past the first round. We had Kendrick beat Big Boy to get here. So he knocked out a legend to get here. And let me add that Kendrick was a 5 seed, knocked out Big Boy, who was a 12 seed, to meet Redman, who Redman was a 4 seed. Redman knocked out Jadakiss, which was a 13 seed, to get here. So this is how they got here. And right now, Redman might as well be Dead Man.
And that hurts me.
Oh.
And that hurts. And that hurts Ray, because I know he's Jersey.
Oh, he's drowning in that muddy water, huh?
Don't do that.
Yeah.
I was hurt.
He's literally got his head halfway out the ground screaming up.
Yep.
I think it's good that we have somebody from this generation advancing, so I'm not that mad at it.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't ever think to this day that Redman will ever... our circle, yes. But overall perception of hip-hop will ever get the true respect that he deserves. And I think kind of take Grant, because, he's an effortless rapper. You don't have to try, And I think, and he's so lighthearted with it, and I don't think, remember Biggie was like, he didn't like when Redman started becoming more comedic with his raps.
Yeah.
Because I wanted the hardcore stuff, and I think Redman makes it look so easy that I think we just take it for granted.
Well, I think too. Also, I think Kendrick. Here's the thing: he has actually the ability right now. He has the upper ante because he's a younger artist. And he's in the public eye, and this is on the internet.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
he's still in his prime.
He's still in his prime. Well, just getting to his prime, if you ask me. But this is why we were hesitant on putting a lot of new artists in here, because we knew how this would work. The new artists are more privy to what's going on. So we didn't have a lot of new artists on here. for some of those reasons. And like Kendrick is one of those guys where Kendrick can be a Final Four.
No, he can definitely.
He'd be a Final Four, and we put him as a 5th seed. I agree with him being a 5 seed. I had Redman over Kendrick just because of how I grew up. Redman was my first favorite rapper, and my first tape I bought was Redman's album. You know the red. It was like a red tape. There's a Dark Side, and so it is, but I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this because I really feel like Kendrick Lamar is just headed for greatness. He's already in greatness, and I just want him to keep making us proud as hip hop fans.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm not mad at it, but I agree.
Yeah, I voted for Kendrick too, man, and I mean I definitely love both. Redman's the home team. I mean, I'm from Jersey, you know what I mean? But the reality is, I think it's like you said, Kendrick is still approaching his prime or in his prime, however you want to say it. He is in that space. I like a certain something about. I'm not always crazy about his delivery. Like if we were just getting into rap mechanics, I'm not always crazy about his vocal delivery the same way I wasn't always crazy about like when Eminem would alter his voice and stuff. But just the kind of music he puts out, the lane that he occupies, where he can really rap about anything. And I like his story. I like where he comes from, and he is an extension of what made rap great on a mainstream level. A lot of the guys that we just talked about who either got eliminated or advanced, are from our generation. He's like an extension of them. I honestly think, of the mainstream crop of all the artists of this decade, Kendrick's the only one where you can really argue, if somebody says Kendrick Lamar is the greatest rapper of all time, and I'm talking about years down the line, I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with that. I do think he pulls from the right influence. So, I take nothing away from Redman. I've definitely explored his catalog more and more as I've gotten older. But I think Kendrick's the answer here. I think Kendrick's just really carving out his space just a little bit more than maybe Redman was able to, even though Redman is very much a legend and had his own style. I think Kendrick's really, in that, he's going to be mentioned in that GOAT conversation down the line, the way like Jay-Z already is, Nas is, Biggie, and so on. So that's the pace that he's working at right now.
Word up. And on that note, there's still 1 day and 17 hours to vote. So make sure y'all do that at Rapper Bracket, Twitter, and Facebook. As we slide on to the next matchup, we got Slick Rick the Ruler, who got past AZ in a tough first round for Slick Rick.
That hurt. I voted AZ.
Method Man Snoop Dogg's matchup.
We coming.
Oh, that's on this rap? I thought it was another.
Yeah, we coming. That's tough now. Yeah. We got some big boys. We got some big dogs coming up. So we got Slick Rick the Ruler, got past AZ in the first round. That's how he got here. And we got LL Cool J, James Todd Smith, coming through in the first round, and he beat MF Doom to get here. So LL pretty much spanked first round. LL's going to get this one. He's 61% over Slick Rick. I'm an LL fan, just as far as like hip hop is concerned. People, we ain't talking about In the House or what's other
NCIS is good.
NCIS.
I with him on there, man.
Or you're not talking about Deep Blue Sea or whatever that shark movie.
Yeah, my head is like a shark's fin. We're not talking about that.
Well, he was God in the one movie though.
In Too Deep was my shit.
Yeah.
So LL, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this one because I want to talk about other matchups, but LL is definitely another Final Four for me member, and he's basically like a hip hop kid. He's Def Jam's Michael Jackson.
Lil Wayne before Lil Wayne.
He's Lil Wayne before Lil Wayne. And we got to keep championing our legends like LL because, like you said, Ray, they took the baton and took it to a whole different level. So.
Yeah, I also went with LL too, and I love Slick, but I think when I look at LL's over catalog and overall influence, he was the first rapper to have the quote-unquote rap love song, as far as, getting more ladies' attention and their fan base and everything else. And he was battle-tested. Granted, I think Canibus won that battle, but he battle-tested. I mean, whether it was Ice-T, whether it was Kimo D. and everything else, you know. So I mean, to me, he's one of those rappers, and he's one of those rappers where even the older family members, like my grandfather, was cool with, like, you know what I mean. I Need Love. Yeah, I remember that's the first time we listened together. Like, I Need Love. Like, he's like, I don't like rap, but like this one right here, Lorenz, this is the one, you know. So he definitely had a lot of overhead attention, you know.
When you, like before you go, Ray, when older people,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
When you have older people that are, this is not of their genre, and like they say, like, oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Like that means a lot.
Yeah, that was one of those first rappers where like the older generation, like, I don't really like this music, but I like that guy right there.
Yeah, that means a lot. That means a lot. For sure.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned I Need Love and the older generation, because my pops right now, my pops in his mid-50s, he has I Need Love in his iTunes library. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll throw it on just because he knows, like, we're old, like, you know, us kids are over, so he'll just throw on certain hip-hop songs on purpose. But just to add to everything you guys said about LL, because all of that is true, at the end of the day, hip-hop, a big reason why hip-hop went mainstream is because LL Cool J spearheaded that. It was him, obviously, Run DMC with Def Jam, but Brandon, you said it, he was Def Jam's Michael Jackson. Def Jam would have went under if LL was not a success. I mean, they also had, you know, Beastie Boys, but those are groups. He's been a solo act his whole career. Right. And when you look at it, he started in '84. That's the year I was born. In '94, he was still, you know, 10 years after that, he was still like in his prime. You know, he had like, you know, like Hey Lover and stuff coming out at this point, but you know, he really had a long, relevant career that went long, you know, longer than 10 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
But at the end of it, the same way I said Tupac's an icon, LL Cool J's an icon. When you talk about just the origins of hip hop and what made hip hop blow up, you cannot leave LL Cool J's name out of that. He is forever an icon.
Word.
Maybe, and honestly, maybe even more so than Jay-Z.
I won't argue that.
Message. That's all I'm saying.
And you know I love Jay-Z, but you know, come on.
All right, man. On that note, we're gonna key up the theme music for this next matchup. So we got, I think, you know, LL's gonna take that one. Peace to Slick Rick, we love you. You know what I mean? You knocked out AZ to get here, so you know, you did your damage. But I need
respect to Slick Rick, man. Great storyteller, one of the best. Like Brenda, like you said, guru voices in rap. Slick Rick goes in there, so he has one of the coolest rap voices ever.
No doubt.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No doubt. Listen, I just want to say I want to seen it all, been through it all, man. Blood, sweat, and tears. It's the real for real.
Oh, here we go.
You know what I'm saying? Prodigy, this about to be another funeral. No pun intended. Yeah. Big pun intended. Both him and P about to go because the internet is wiping this matchup away. We got my man P from Queensbridge, Mobb Deep, going against Eminem. How did both these guys get here? Prodigy was a number 7 seed, and he defeated Master Ace in the first round. Eminem is a number 2 seed, and he defeated Posdnuos of De La Soul to get here. And you know, internets have Eminem 81%. I'm not even gonna check Facebook. I know, right? This is in the can. I chose Prodigy over Eminem. Eminem is out in the second round for me. Eminem is out in the first round for me. Sorry. But I'm not sorry.
Well, wow, you picked Pop over him. Wow.
You know, and only because who Eminem came up against. Eminem went up against Posdnuos from De La. And I cannot disrespect De La Soul. Their catalog is gold. Like De La Soul's catalog is gold.
Oh, I won't debate that.
It's gold.
And we talked about it in the first podcast. I think I was looking more on a solo aspect.
Yeah. But but Eminem is another one. Final Four. Eminem can win this whole shit. Yeah. This is a good matchup, but I mean I don't think the votes really fairly reflect Prodigy's like skill level. I think we're just going to chalk it up that Eminem is like a superstar, and when we're taking this to the internet, popularity is just going to sway.
I think current Eminem versus current Prodigy, I'll give it to current Prodigy. But I think if we're talking about Prodigy in his prime versus Eminem in his prime, I like Prodigy and I love Prodigy and I.
Oh God, oh my goodness!
Well, no, listen, I'm gonna be honest.
What?
No, listen. Let me finish first.
Oh, the devil's alive. The devil's alive.
Listen, I relate more to Prodigy than Eminem. You know, I'm not debating, but